So this video is going to talk about how you can clean up your image once you've made it. So we're going to assume that you've done your image trace, you've expanded, and you've brought your icon into one of your artboards here. And now, you can see it's not the cleanest looking thing. So you want to clean it up. So get rid of like these little bits here and down here. Now we talked about this a bit in class that you're going to want to use the smooth tool. But I also want to mention about kinds of shapes within Illustrator. So this will allow me to kind of talk a little bit about that too. So I've decided that I want my colors to be blue and white for my mountain. Now it's sitting on this white background as well. But I can see by clicking on the inside of this mountain that it is in fact white. So maybe, actually, you know what, I want to be able to kind of tell the difference between the background and the foreground a little bit. So maybe I'm just going to have it be like kind of a light yellow rather than pure white. So that it's got a little bit, maybe a little bit more contrast than that. Maybe kind of go for this gray so that I can tell the difference between your foreground and background. I'm just going to make it the same gray by using my eyedropper tool. So with this guy, okay, I want to clean up a little bit of the shape here. So I want to get rid of that little hook. And as I can see, when I move the object, that little hook doesn't just live in my now gray object, but it lives in the main big blue guy as well. So this blue object, I'm just going to move my mountain cap here out of the way for a minute. I'm going to zoom out a second. Again, Command minus zooms out. Move these guys away. Because what I want you to notice is that this object kind of has those white spots built into it as well. It's what we call a compound object. So it's not just a shape that starts here, goes up here, here, boop, boop, boop. It contains these little knocked out guys as well. If you did the shape building demo, you kind of understand that you can have this kind of like knocked out area. And another way we can kind of tell about the fact that there's an area that's been kind of knocked out, I'm going to make a new shape here. I'm going to make that new shape pink. Okay. And I'm going to stick that shape in the back. So you can see that the blue shape has got some areas that are knocked out of it. So that's called a compound path. So in this case, I have these two shapes already. I don't need those. So I'm going to release it. And what that does is that means that now this is just one triangle and I've got a shape here that's the exact same as this shape here, and the same goes for here. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to select this guy and say I want it to be that gray. Terrific. I'm going to delete you. I'm having fewer shapes now. I like having fewer shapes. Fewer shapes makes my life easier. So now I've got just a couple shapes. And in fact, that means I can go in here. I'm going to zoom in. See these guys? These are all individual little shapes. And I can just go in, click, hit delete on my keyboard. It's wonderful. I can just click on them. See how easy it is to clean it up now? And I can actually click and drag. I'm going to get everybody. I'm going to not select my main shape itself. So I'm just going to kind of, while zoomed in, I'm going to look for any weird little guys hanging out. And this is something I would definitely like you guys to look for and to clean up your drawing. So now, when I go in and I clean up this shape, this is going to make my life easier. So again, inside of the shaper tool, sometimes it defaults to the pencil tool, you want the smooth tool. So I'm going to use my direct selection to select my weird little mountain cap here. I'm going to go to my shaper tool, my smooth tool rather, and I'm going to just kind of drag it along in the direction I want because I want to get rid of all these weird little things. I don't want all these extra shapes. I want this to be as smooth as I can get it. I want to look like a computer did this, not my weird wavy hand. And so the fewer points, the better. And in fact, there might be some that you can even go in and say there don't need to be 3 points here. What happens if I delete that point? Yes, I am happier when I delete that point. And some points you you can play with these little handles and see what that does. So you can start to make this look less like it's hand-drawn. Again, the direct select tool, I want to take my smooth tool, I want to smooth that. And you know what, again, with my direct select, I can click on the individual guys and I can go, I want to get rid of you. You can also use the pen tool to do that, to delete anchor points. So if I click on this guy, it's going to get rid of it. It's going to smooth everybody out. Look, isn't that smoother? And now again, I'm going to zoom out. Got a lot of dots on this guy, so I'm going to use my smooth tool, and I just want to have it be one thing. See, now it's got like 3 points instead of like 10. So I'm just going to go in, and you want there to be as few points as possible in your shape, and you want it to look as kind of clean as possible in the end. So you can see I've gotten rid of a lot of these dots. Really easy, just one swipe of this smooth tool. And look, see, there's just the beginning and the end. And so now when I click in here, I could go to that top and I could clean it up a bit more, but I'm not going to have any weirdness with the fact that this is now sitting on top of another shape that's kind of the exact same thing. So again, direct select this guy. I want this to clean up. So why did I go through the bother of getting rid of that other shape? I'm going to show you what happens if I didn't get rid of the compound path in the next video.